Hello and welcome to another optics trade review. We have a brand new Holosun red dot sight here today, the 503R model that was introduced at this year's SHOT Show. Actually, all the R models, even the ones with the gold illumination, were introduced this year. And what is the trick? Well, basically, they feature a rotary switch for the illumination intensity regulation instead of the standard buttons that we're now used to from Holosun Paralow models. But I will get into the detail of that later on in this review. Holosun as a company is a relative newcomer in the world of optics. They were established in 2013 and have quickly become one of the key players in the industry of red dot sight manufacturing. Currently in their offer you can find red dot sights mostly, but also lasers, and now from 2019 onwards also a magnifier. And I'm sure that their offer will expand in the future. They're known for offering affordable optics, high quality optics with innovative solutions. So in their offer you can find red dot sights with titanium housings, with solar cells. You can pick from different colors of radicals. Now in 2019 you can pick from red, green and gold. And some of the sights also offer the ability to switch between radicals. And there's much more from Holosun, and with each new year they introduce more solutions. Because of this, they're really competitive on the red dot sight market, and many users are really satisfied with their products. They even compare them with Japanese and European made products, and I can say that the Holosun is one of the companies that successfully break the stereotype that Chinese products are of low quality. They even cooperate with Primary Arms, a famous American optics manufacturing company, which also Primary Arms designs their own radicals, and together they've launched this product with this form factor with the famous ACSS CQB radical, which is really popular. In 2019 at SHOT Show they've introduced quite some new things, gold illumination, and also these R models with the rotary switch for the illumination intensity regulation. This is a small tube sight. This form factor was popularized by the famous Swedish red dot sight manufacturing company Aimpoint, and this is Holosun's design of this particular form. They call these models Paralow. It is 66 millimeters long, this one, which is around 2.6 inches, of the same height with the high mount on, and weighs around 166 grams. It comes with a high mount for an AR platform, and also with a low mount for other mounting applications, such as on a standard rifle with a Picatinny rail or something similar. These are both fixed mounts. If we remove this mount, there is an Aimpoint Micro mounting footprint underneath, for which there are plenty of mounts on the market made by renowned European mount manufacturers. So if you don't want to use these mounts, you can always find many other on the market. It is made out of CNC milled 6061 aluminum alloy, and features 503 numbers and a letter R. So what does this stand for? With 5, it's always the same with Holosun, the ability to switch between a dot and a circle dot. 0 indicates that the accessories that come with this sight are basic, so fixed mount, no removable flip-up caps but a bikini cover instead, no removable kill flash, and so on. And 3 means that this is one of the Paralow models. What about R? Okay, before I move to R, HS stands for Holosun, and indicates that this is not an elite model, which would, if it was an elite model, HE would be used. So this doesn't have titanium housing and comes with standard red illumination. What about R? So with all the R models, Holosun used a different mechanism for the illumination system than they use on their other devices. Instead of the 2 buttons that we usually found on top or on the side, there is now a rotary switch on the side of the device. Some shooters prefer this solution and find it more ergonomic, but at the end it all depends on the user preference. I have to point out here that the switch is very well made and nicely clicks into each of the positions. But since this is a model starting with the number 5, Holosun had to come up with a different approach for switching between a dot and a circle dot. With buttons you had to press the minus button for 3 seconds. Here obviously there are no buttons. How do you basically switch? So there is an additional mark here on the rotary switch, a circle dot mark. So now you can see that we have the 2 MOA dot set. If we wish to get a circle dot, we simply align this arrow with the circle dot mark, move back, and we have the circle dot. We switch back, really it's simple, just do this again and now you have the 2 MOA dot again. So a very nice solution. The only problem is that if you're somewhere on a night vision device compatible level, let's say 1, you have to go really far to switch between the 2 radicals and then go back, which takes some time, and it's not that simple and quick. But okay, so they had to come up with a solution, and I think that the solution is really nice. These models were also introduced with the gold illumination, and a 403R model was also introduced, which is basically only a 2 MOA dot model. The battery that it operates on is of the CR2032 type, and the differences between the 503 and 403 model are also on the outside. This one has conspicuous logo, so Holosun's logo is really conspicuous, whereas on the 403 model it is of the same color as the housing, so you can tell them apart just by looking at them, looking at their housings. This is one of the first models that was also introduced with the gold illumination. Those models have GD next to their name. We also have the review on 403R GD and 503R GD on our YouTube channel. Feel free to check them out. The turrets are shrouded for protection, and what's interesting is that these the fact that this feature was usually marked with the letter U, and now the letter U is missing here. So I think that Holosun chose to add this feature as a standard, and from now on we can expect all the parallel models to have the shrouded turrets, at least all newly introduced. So as you can see, you can use the turret caps to make elevation and windage adjustments. They click nicely. One click equals 1 MOA, so this is around 1.5 centimeters on 100 meters. You can see how well the turrets are protected, so you can't actually bump them against something and make changes. You also cannot damage them as easily if they are exposed. So they're protected against damage and all kinds of impacts. Battery lifetime is up to 1100 hours on this one, but this of course all depends on the illumination level that is set. They're IP67 certified, which means complete protection against dust and up to protection up to 1 meter of submersion in water for half an hour. Front lens is tilted. This is not an error, but it's normal. It allows the beam projected by the LED to be reflected to the user's eye, and not mattering where the eye is located in front of the lens. So this is basically not an error. You can read more about this on Holosun's website under frequently asked questions. So if we go to the price, around 300 euros, which is very affordable. The warranty is 5 years on the material, 3 years on the electronics, as with all the standard models. You have 12 illumination intensity levels to choose from. The lowest 2 are night vision device compatible. The highest 12 is really, really bright, compatible with the strongest daytime brightness. There is almost no tint, so really a little amount of tint. So great optics, 2 MOA dot and a circle dot, 1x magnification, allowing you to use both eyes when looking through, and it is really comfortable to look through. And also the shake awake function, so if you leave it stationary for a while, the dot will power off, and then when you move it again, it will power back on in an instant and you'll be ready to shoot. So this is a great way to preserve battery life, because often if you leave it on, especially on the highest setting, the battery will drain really quickly. As regards the scope of the delivery, the device comes in a typical Holosun box, which is padded for protection, so you can use it also for transport if it is not mounted on your rifle. Let me just put this on. Then we have the rubber bikini cover, a hex key, a lens cloth, low mount, high mount, and an instruction manual. Here you can also see it's explained why the objective lens has to be tilted for the sight to operate correctly. Now that we covered the warranty, we've covered the scope of delivery, the price. So what are some of the good things about this sight? I would say that the great definition of the dot and the circle dot, and the fact that the optics are just outstanding. There is no tint at all. For this price, the optics and the housing both really great. So definitely worth buying. The fine rotary switch that Holosun came up with, I really like it. So some might find this solution more ergonomic, and it's also much easier to tell on which level you are. If you used buttons, you weren't sure if you were level 6, level 8. Here, if you, I don't know, are used to being on level 9 all the time, you just look at the rotary switch and set to 9, and you don't have to wonder whether you're at some other level. Much easier to set, and without you having to look through the glass. The fact that the protected turrets come now as standard, at least I think so, is really nice. You can still easily unscrew the cap, even though the housing is lifted here on the back and in the front. And also it's very affordable and great for what it offers. The only downside perhaps is that this glass here is quite exposed, which means that you can break it if you're not careful. You can see that this front part is really nice. It protects the glass inside nicely, whereas here on the back you can quickly hit it against something. But this is a characteristic of all Holosun Paralow red dot sights. We can do a conclusion. So if you're looking for an affordable red dot sight with a switchable reticle and very decent optics, Holosun Paralow 503R will do. And also, if you prefer this solution to the standard buttons, then this sight is the perfect choice. Thank you for watching. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, check out our other videos on Holosun models. I already said that we have the gold variant of this also reviewed on our YouTube channel. And see you next time. Bye.